This broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Celebrate another opening. Yeah, it just feels like there's just, oh, this is the day, this is the day, and this is the, but they're all the day, kind of, aren't they? They're all kind of the day. And today's kind of another day. It's the first full Thursday of college football. A week from today is the kickoff of the National Football League. We got good games tonight, good games to look at. Florida, Utah is really the one tonight that I think's got a lot of people excited. The 14th ranked Utes at home. But there's a bunch of stuff for you to stare at tonight. Minnesota and Nebraska's on your TV tonight. Whatever it is you want. Good morning to you. And once again, happy football season. It's the opening drive on the final day of September. The final day of September. Thanks for being with us. Of August? You mean tomorrow's the first day of September? It's not the final day of September yet?
We're skipping another month.
That would suck, dude. Okay, so that yeah, I'm not ready for that one yet. Just because this time of year goes too fast for me.
Yeah, way too fast when the weather's this nice.
Well, just because, yeah, just business-wise, too. It comes up on me quick. It's the opening drive. Good morning. How you living?
What it do?
You all right? Little frog in your voice? Yeah, little frog in your voice. Lots going on, man. Lots going on in the football world, and as it is in this dead week for the NFL, so much of it's off the field. Much of it's noise. Much of it is, did you hear what he said? Did you hear the reaction? Did you hear Jihad Ward react to Aaron Rodgers in Hard Knocks? Did you hear Kyle Shanahan react to Jim Garoppolo? That's really kind of what it is, and it's all actually somewhat entertaining. But I want to start on the field. Is that all right? Do you guys mind if we actually start on the field? Because Joe Burrow was on the field yesterday. And I know we sat here late in the show yesterday saying, I don't know, man. It's starting to sound like he is not going to get there. Say hello to Jake Browning. Will Greer signed there yesterday. But Joe Burrow went out there, and I don't know, you feel differently than you did 24 hours ago about Joe Burrow? Because I sure do.
Absolutely. I was expecting it next week that we see Joe Burrow in practice, but for him to be able to get back this week is huge because you got to get loose. You got to get some confidence back in that calf. And that's a Super Bowl contending team with him at quarterback.
You ever hurt your calf?
Hmm?
That's a tough one. And they tend to linger. Everything you do, man. The calf is I mean, it's like everything else, right? But they hurt. I feel a lot different. I don't know why the coyness by Zach Taylor and Cincinnati. Why the if you're going to run them out there a week and a half before the first game, why the deception? I don't know. Well, I mean, he's not Belichick. Well, what do they gain out of that? I never understood it.
It's a coach thing. A lot of them.
It's the butter guy. I've got control.
Yeah.
Ever tell you the butter guy story?
No, I'd love to hear it.
I refer to the butter guy, someone who's got control. Joe Paterno was at dinner with Con Colbert, who used to be the deputy athletic director here at UNM for a long time with Rudy Davalos. And Con tells the story. They were at dinner, and everybody got one, the little ball of butter for your roll. And Joe Paterno asked the butter guy for, excuse me, may I have another butter or another butter? No, sir, just one ball of butter per person. Because he could, right? Because he was in charge of the butters. I always just think the butter guy, right? Somebody's in charge of something, and it's the butter guy because they could. But is that what it is? Just because they have control? It's a coach thing?
Mm-hmm. You don't need to know, and they think it's going to... Part of that is like not naming a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
You're going to have to prepare differently. You're not sure. Yeah. How much time are you spending thinking about this or that? Well, it's the same thing like on Tuesday at the end of the Lobos press conference that they held. Danny Gonzalez, I think he spoke for 45 minutes. Opening presser, everyone has a lot of questions. And they're wrapping it up and they're like, we've been overall here for like an hour plus. And he's like, good, hope Jimbo Fisher is watching this.
Is that what you said? I bet he was.
Yeah, but it's the things that coaches think about.
But I promise you somebody from A&M was watching it or did watch it. If not Jimbo Fisher, certainly somebody on his staff certainly watched it. Right?
And it's just always thinking about preparation, taking time away from what you should be focusing on.
I guess so. I guess so. The other side of it is why not just answer the question and feed the beast and theoretically they'll stop asking you.
No, they'll never stop. And if you tell them it's a week and it's not a week, then that becomes.
You said it was a week. This must be a big deal. Has there been a major setback?
Yeah, exactly. That's the only question you're answering at that point. That's no fun.
Yeah. All right. We're going to do some Lobo football for you at 8 o'clock. I think you'll enjoy this. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt's kind of, JJ, been the star of camp in some respects, don't you think? A young man for Lobo football who has risen to the top of the depth chart in a what I think it. Well, not I don't think it's a crowded backfield. Transfer from Alabama State, came in, and if you've been out of practice at all, you said, holy smoke, who is that dude right there? He's been terrific, and he is listed as the number one running back, transferred in, Alabama State guy, and has an opportunity to be really good. Looking forward to talking to this young man coming up at 8 o'clock this morning as they get ready to open the season at Texas A&M.
The offense has been very exciting in fall camp, and he is one of those players that has absolutely popped. He is a very physical, strong runner, hits the hole hard. And with Christian Washington, kind of the RB2 right now, you got a little bit of that thunder and lightning in this backfield.
5'11", 204, and super, super speedy. So do that at 8 o'clock, and then at 8:30, Jerry Palm from CBS Sports will be with us, and we'll kick off college football season with him. There's some games this weekend now on the schedule. There's some stuff to look at this weekend in college football. And are you guys fired up a little bit about Utah, Florida tonight? Because I am. And do you have a different feeling about the Pac-12? Just watching them this year, knowing maybe you guys don't. I grew up with the Pac-12, right?
We all grew up with the Pac-12.
I guess we all did, huh? You guys were Colorado guys. Yeah. It kills me to think that next year there is not a Pac-12. It kills me. It's tough.
It's a bummer.
It's such a bummer, though, because it was such a part of what I've grown up with. And I can't decide if I'm rooting for them or against them this year because they broke it up. And it's a weird feeling. Are you experiencing that at all?
I am not, but I definitely understand. For a person who grew up with it, it's bittersweet almost. It's like, the end is coming and here's the beginning of it. So,
you know my background, man. I grew up, one of my best buddies' dad was the voice of the USC football and basketball teams, and he would take me to games at the Coliseum when I was a kid, and that's how I got into this, man. That's why I wanted to do this, and just had such this deep-rooted sports thing. Golly. I just watched this and it's killing me, and I'm honestly torn emotionally. Like, I don't know if I want the Pac-12 just to go out with a bang and win a national championship and fight on SC and watch this thing, or do I want these teams that broke it apart, these schools that ripped the Pac-12 to shreds and all went running somewhere for the money, just to fizzle on the vine and as the soccer coach from North Carolina said, die on the vine. I just don't know. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that. It's just so weird as I watch it. Then Utah, who's not a traditional Pac-12 team, they were a Mountain West team. You always watch them with some sort of, interest. I'm super, super torn on this whole thing, man. I don't know. And normally emotion kind of dictates where, the way you think. And this one, I'm not sure, honestly.
And this is a year where the Pac-12 should be pretty good.
Yeah.
They got some really good quarterbacks, not just Caleb Williams.
Oh, they got them across the board.
Who they're running, Michael Penix at Washington, the competitiveness atop the league. And tonight's game right off the bat, Utah and Florida. And then Utah potentially without their starting quarterback, so are they going to start on the back foot with Florida coming in? It's great storylines, and I think most people are bummed about it, but with the Pac-12, from the leadership to the schools, they did it to yourself.
No doubt.
So I'm not going to feel all that bad because most of those schools are going to end up fine because they're getting a whole heck of a lot of money.
Yeah, and I'm kind of past the they did it to themselves and whose fault is it. And now it's football season, right? Balls are going to be in the air. I'm going to be watching games. And now it's just, for me, it's about me. You know what I mean? It's how do I feel, and it's crazy. Here's your Mountain West schedule for the weekend, and there's some interesting stuff on there. Friday, that would be tomorrow. Short turnaround for Hawaii to go back home. Stanford, Pac-12, will open up their season. It'll be Hawaii's second game. What do you think the spread on Stanford Hawaii is? After Hawaii loses by a touchdown to Vanderbilt, has to travel all the way back home, gets a short week at Stanford's opener. Pac-12.
Stanford 6.5.
What do you think?
I was thinking 2 touchdowns.
You're thinking of 14, 13-ish?
Yeah.
Stanford's only 3.5-point favorite. So Timmy Chang's group got a whole lot of respect from the odds makers by going, granted, playing a bottom-tier SEC team, but playing an SEC team, playing them tough. Utah State will be at Iowa. They're 23.5-point dogs, or the UTAGs. Fresno State at Purdue. Big Ten. What do you think the spread is there? Fresno State at Purdue. It's on the Big Ten Network, 10 o'clock Saturday morning. I'm
thinking like 9.5, 10.
Who's favored?
Purdue.
Purdue by 9.5, 10?
Purdue 7.5.
3.5.
3.5?
Purdue by 3.5. We're going to have to talk to one of Purdue's most famous alums, Jerry Palm, about that coming up at 8:30. Robert Morris at Air Force. Boise State at Washington. Washington's a 14-point favorite. UNLV will open up at home against Bryant. Nevada goes to SC, where they're 38-point dogs. New Mexico is a 38-point dog at A&M. Washington State at Colorado State. Cougars are on the road, 11-point favorites. Texas Tech at Wyoming. This is a big deal up in Laramie. A big deal to get Texas Tech into Laramie at War Memorial Stadium. Tech is a 14-point favorite. The Aztecs are home against Idaho State. And then on Sunday, this is interesting a little bit. San Jose State at home against Oregon State, where the Spartans are 16.5-point dogs. So that's your Mountain West schedule, and it's an interesting one. All right, time to take that first break. You see the crowd at Nebraska. Boy, they love their football. They love their football stadium. They put over 92,000 people in their football stadium last night, and their football team wasn't even on the field. What an amazing, record-breaking night for women's sports in Nebraska. This was special. We're going to talk about it next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
That's football season, and one place you know you're getting crowds, win, lose, good, not good, whatever it is in Lincoln, Nebraska. They're going to fill up that football stadium, and they filled up that football stadium last night. Wait, Jeff, it was Wednesday. There was no football game. Oh, yeah, so did they have a scrimmage? Did the Huskers have a big football scrimmage? Nope. Football, nothing to do with football, other than it was the football stadium. What do you mean? They put 92,003 fans to watch their 5-time NCAA champion Nebraska volleyball team. The women's volleyball team beat Omaha 3-0 or 3-0 or 3-0 or 3-0 sets. It was the highest attendance ever for a women's sporting event competition in the world. It broke the record. The previous record was 91,648 in Barcelona for a Champions League match back in 2002. Did you guys see any of this? Did you watch it? Did you because
clips were insane.
Insanity. They put the court out there. It's kind of the theme of the Winter Classic when the NHL takes a hockey rink and puts it in a stadium. It was that concept. They brought their volleyball court out, put it out in their football stadium. They called it Volleyball Day in Nebraska. They brought in Omaha. The paid attendance, there was a doubleheader. Wayne State played Nebraska Kearney. And then tickets were originally $25, but they were going on the secondary market for $400 to watch this women's volleyball game in a stadium. I'm just going to tell you, and like volleyball, don't like volleyball, whatever. I don't care. The fact that they support this like this, and there's places that love their whatever it is, right? So I mean, it's crazy. Some places get bigger crowds for soccer. Some places get bigger crowds for basketball. Whatever. This is insanity, and it's a tribute to what that program is, but good for women's sports. I think this is so good that on the eve of really kicking off football season, that women's sports made such an impact. And I don't care if it was in New York City or if it was in Lincoln, Nebraska. This was amazing to me. I don't know what you guys thought.
It was just crazy watching the scenes of them coming out of the tunnel, taking the court with 90,000 people.
Yeah, amazing's right. I've been to that stadium before. I've seen it full. I have. It's cool. They have really good food there. It's kind of random. They have these Runza little pockets. It's like a Russian thing. It's
better than the extra point that you had the other night on the glazed donuts with the hot dog and the queso?
No, I don't think so. That extra point special. It's got a little spot in my heart now.
Yeah.
But no, Lincoln is such a cool place, and I love volleyball. So the fact that they could pull that off, I totally amazed by it. Very, very impressed. Good job, Nebraska.
No, good job, and good on you. And if you haven't seen pictures of it, by the way, go get a look at it. Did you, speaking of pictures, did you see the moon? Did you go out and look at the blue moon?
We walked the dogs last night, and my neighbors were out, and we were kind of chatting with some randos. But yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, we went out and just looked at it. The neighbors came out at the same time. Did you see the moon last night? It was out this morning, too. You didn't catch on it? You're like, it's a freaking moon. It's every day. No,
it was super blue moon.
It was super blue moon. Yeah. So the moon was 100 miles closer to Earth, second full moon of the month, and whatever all the astrologists are telling. It was worth going out and just staring at it for a few minutes.
I think it's the last one until 2034.
That's what I've been told. Yeah.
No, that was totally cool. I love stuff like that.
That was really, really cool. All right, the other thing we were talking about yesterday, and we talked about a lot of things, the Hard Knocks. And I don't know that we've got a clean version of it, but I think by now almost everybody has heard the Hard Knocks run-in between Jihad Ward of the New York Football Giants and Aaron Rodgers. And when you watched it, and have you seen it yet? I showed it to you. Did you think it was theater? Did you think it was Rodgers? Bless you. Did you think it was Rodgers playing up? And I know the camera's on me. I know that we're on Hard Knocks. I know that this is a little bit extra thing. Like, did you feel he was playing?
Now, quarterbacks can be that way. They're very touchy.
So you didn't feel, you think
5 steps and he's going to be like, oh, why'd you put your hand on me?
It was a few extra steps. It was.
Dare you touch me?
Right.
You raised my shoulder pad. I'm offended now.
But did you think, like, Rodgers, and
yes, he knows that
the cameras are on him.
The cameras on him.
Yeah, the whole time. I mean, I've been watching this, and I love Hard Knocks, and I'm in, and I knew I'd be in hook, line, and sinker. I'm in every year on this. I don't care. I just love this crap. And you know, there's guys looking for the camera, and that guy knows he's mic'd all the time. And for a guy who really didn't want to do it, boy, he sure as hell has embraced it, hasn't he? I mean, for a guy in Rodgers who, I don't want this and it's a distraction and whatever, they sure have embraced it. Well, Jihad Ward is the guy on the other side. Look, Jihad Ward come out. How do you think he came out looking? Like, I mean, horrible, right? Horrible.
No.
You don't think so?
He just had a bad comeback.
Yeah,
so
that's
that
what I'm
made him
saying.
Look bad.
Yeah.
I don't mind him taking a couple extra steps and poking Aaron Rodgers.
Putting his hands on Aaron Rodgers in a collision sport. I thought he came out looking horrible. I don't dislike him. He isn't the loser, or he isn't the winner in this, and everybody is replaying this, and you know, whatever that guy's name is. I don't know you, bro. I don't even know who you are, bro. He's I don't know who you are, bro. That's Jihad Ward for the rest of his life. Like, there was he hate me, and there's I don't know who you are, bro.
Yeah. That's
Jihad Ward for the rest of his life. So they showed it. Everybody's showing it. It's all over your social media feed. It's there. And the Jets players were laughing in the huddle after all that. And then there was the Randall Cobb block where they were all laughing. Giants aren't very happy. Giants are not very happy. And they've watched it. They're pissed. They had to play again. I don't know what it's going to mean when they play, but Jihad Ward's quote was, everybody going to get pissed off at that. The whole team was pissed off. You know what I'm saying? It's preseason and all that stuff, and you're going to do some reaction like that. It's cool, though. That's how they roll. I think we play them soon. It is what it is. End quote. I don't know. If you're a Giants fan, what bothers you more? That they were laughing at concussing your dude on the Randall Cobb block, laughing and he got fined and whatever, or Rodgers up in Jihad Ward's face. Man, I don't even know you, bro. Never heard of you, bro. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are either. You don't? What are you more pissed off at? Because obviously they're pissed off. They just said it. The hit, right?
Yeah.
The hit. And I looked at that, by the way, and I thought it was clean. And I guess it's not, right? He did get his head in front of him. I mean, it's football. What's he supposed to do there, by the way? Is he allowed to make a block? Or?
Well, I think that's one that, even clean, when you see your teammate go down like that, you're going to be upset.
So if you haven't seen the block, it was a blindside hit, Randall Cobb on a sweep. He came in from the side. There was a defender going to make a tackle. Cobb came in from the side, got his head in front. He didn't hit him from behind, and he laid him out. It was a good hit. He laid dude out. And it was called a blind side hit. So what are you supposed to just kind of get your body in front of it and stop? Like, how can you make a block there legally today? Because that's been outlawed in 2014. That was Rodgers' line. Come on, bro. It's not 2014. I know. I forgot. I blacked out. What are you supposed to do as a football player? Can you make a block there in that situation? You're supposed to go full speed and stop? What can you do?
You just pretty much run in front of him.
But how do you go full speed and then just run?
Get in his way.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's clean. If you see your teammate go down like that, you're going to be upset.
Yeah.
You should be.
In a preseason game. Yeah. Ward said, they know what they did. I know what Cobb did. Coaches know what he did. My teammates know what he did. I'm the only one sticking up for McCain. the guy who got knocked out. He's in concussion protocol. I don't know, man. Dude's pissed. I want to watch the Giants and the Jets. Whenever the Giants and the Jets play, I kind of want to watch the Giants and the Jets because I think it'll be fun. All right, when we come back, Jonathan Taylor's not playing. The general manager spoke about it and didn't pull any punches about it. What he said, how he said it, and why I believe it's the right way. We just talked about don't say anything. In this case, he said it all, and I think it was the right way to handle this. Tell you why. That's when we come back on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for NFL, Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football. You know that your home and your business are at risk all the time, right? I know that you've got all kinds of security and alarms and everything, but Albuquerque's not known for security. That's why Aaron Jones started IPS. That's why I called IPS years ago, and they protect my home. They can protect your home as well. They can protect your business like they do hundreds of homes and businesses in Albuquerque. Right now, Aaron's looking for help with his business. He's looking for more people to help do great things in our state and our city. If you're a former or retired police officer, if you have military or security experience, if you want to make Albuquerque a better place to live and work, you're asked to fill out an application at ipsglobal.com. IPS has world-class professionals. They'll train you to handle any situation. You'll work for a great company. You'll be doing great things for our community. The number's 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. Or you can go online at ipsglobal.com. Join IPS if you want to make Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area.
No, there's no good way to paint the situation in Indianapolis. None. Their star running back is on the PUP list, physically unable to perform. He doesn't want to be there. They want him there, but he won't sign. And they got a rookie quarterback, and they're just not going to be very good. I just don't see any way they're going to be good. It's the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. So, I mean, paint me, if you're Indianapolis, like super fan, your team's going to be good because why? Why are you excited about this season? What's exciting if you are Indianapolis super fan? You are Joey Colt, right? Colby Colt. And you're telling your buddies, you're calling it Sports Talk Radio in Indianapolis. What are you excited about? Why are you optimistic about Colt season? Is there a reason?
The development of Anthony Richardson.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there's not a lot. My buddy up there, he likes his Josh Downs guy. He's their third receiver, so it's kind of a deep dive. But apparently they like him a lot out of preseason.
Okay. All right. Their general manager is Chris Ballard, and he did the press conference yesterday. And I know you got the sound ready. I want you to listen to this because we just talked about Zach Taylor in Cincinnati, the head coach of the Bengals, and not really saying anything. And is this the right way to handle situations, right? The Joe Burrow stuff. And what am I going to say? Here's Ballard talking about what the pile of poop, basically, that they're mired in right now.
It sucks. It sucks for the Colts. It sucks for Jonathan Taylor. And it sucks for our fans. It does. And it's where we're at, and we've got to work through it. And we're going to do everything we can to work through it. Relationships are repairable. They're repairable.
Ballard not mentioned.
All right, so is this one repairable? I don't know. This really completely up to Jonathan Taylor, but everything about it says it's not repairable.
It's repairable if they want to pay the man a contract.
If they do. But, well, they want to pay him a contract, I think, but not what he wants, right? If they come to him
and said... There has been no report of a contract offer, extension,
so it's basically
or talks
play on what you are right now. We'll deal with you afterwards.
Play on the last deal of your rookie contract.
Last year of your rookie contract. Play on that. Okay. If he doesn't play, does he get the year credit? If he sits on the PUP list, does he get off his rookie contract? He does, right? He just doesn't get. And this is the one thing I've not been able to find yesterday. So he's on the PUP. He's getting paid still, right? So he's going to get his $4.5 million or whatever it is this year, right?
Well, he's on the PUP for 4 weeks.
All
so
right.
we'll see if they put him on long-term IR after that.
Well, whatever it is. Yeah. I mean, he's going to laugh to the bank. Lenny, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, Lenny.
Well, I think Irsay now is replacing Jerry Jones as the worst owner in football.
Okay.
Meddling in the team affairs, not wanting to negotiate a contract with a running back that's in his prime at 24, that 2 years ago should have been the MVP of the league, or could have been. And I don't know what he's doing. And putting him on the PUP, I don't think needed to go on it, but I think they're trying to save him until they can make a trade.
What would you pay him then? What's he worth? In the running back market, what do you think he's worth?
He's going to get if he wants the $16 million McCaffrey getting, that's not happening anymore. Realistically, a 4-year, $30 million guaranteed, and a $50 million contract.
3 years at 50?
No, 4 years at 50, $30 million guaranteed.
All right. I don't think that's outrageous. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's not outrageous.
If he wants more than that, because Josh Jacobs just got his contract bumped to $12 million.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. Okay, but the thing is, he doesn't want to be there anymore. He doesn't like the owner. He feels disrespected.
But Irsay is just making it more toxic. And then what the GM said on the interview, where he said about paying Taylor, and he goes, well, we had a losing season last season, is just throwing his player under the bus. You're also hurting the development of Richardson. And to me,
I think that's the biggest part.
I'm going to make this prediction early. Richardson's going to be closer to Trey Lance than Josh Allen.
Okay. I lean your way.
Okay. He has the same career trajectory as Trey Lance.
Not a lot of college football behind him. Yep. Going to a bad.
A very poor completion percentage.
Yeah, so did
and
Josh
he
Allen.
Really one good college game.
So did Josh Allen, though.
Josh Allen's complaint was he had a low completion percentage, but he worked on it. Look what he became, but he also had all of that time in Wyoming.
Yeah, he played a lot more football. Yeah.
Then I'm going to go to the Dak Prescott situation with Trey Lance. If he has a good season this year, or a very good season this year, he can opt out of his contract, which then sticks it to Jerry Jones again to either compel him to pay him or franchise tag him and do that song and dance like in 21 all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Cowboys only got Trey Lance to try to rehabilitate him if they can, and then trade him for a higher draft pick than what they gave up.
And if that works, then it was a good move for them. I mean, but nobody's going to know if he's rehabilitated. Nobody's going to get to see him play. So,
right. But I mean, if there's a blowout game and you can put him in, or if there's a game or two towards the end of the season where the Cowboys have the playoffs locked in place and they're not worrying about field position and all that, they could put him in for a game.
Yeah.
Other than that, unless Prescott gets hurt, which I hope he doesn't, then he's in the driver's seat for his contract.
It's up to him.
Opt-out year after this year.
It's bet on him.
And then last, I just want to change it. Congratulations to the women's volleyball team in Nebraska last night.
Just amazing last night. All right, good stuff, man.
But not on top of the 92,000 people that came on the secondary market. Tickets were going for $400.
Yeah, $400. We're just talking about that. All right, man, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the football. Thanks for the call. So on the Prescott thing, last I checked, Cooper Rush is number 2. So if Prescott gets hurt, they're going to Cooper Rush, right?
Yes, they are.
So I if they got him to rehabilitate him and trade him for something bigger, okay, maybe. I think they just said, look, man, we get a guy who was the 3rd pick overall, that we loved his talent coming out of the draft, and it's going to cost us a 4th round pick. The upside is tremendous. If we get beat on this, okay, we lose a 4th round pick. I just think they thought we're getting somebody basically relatively cheap who we still believe in, that nobody else seems to. And we could get a steal. And if it's not good, is it really that big of a flop? Not really. We spent a 4th round pick.
They win pretty much no matter what happens because they're getting this run right now in the media. You know, Jerry loves that.
Loves it.
If they do rehabilitate him and they get a star out of the 4th round, that's a win. Or if they can rehabilitate and trade, buy low, sell high. I mean, this is a classic business move.
No, and if it blows up on them, what did they lose?
Nothing. 4th round.
4th round pick. I mean, look, there's good 4th round picks in the draft. There's guys who are really good players who are 4th rounders. Don't get me wrong. It's not invaluable, like non-valuable, like not valuable, but it's one of those that I think it's worth the risk.
You know, when JJ brought up the stat yesterday that half of 1st rounders don't work, taking gamble on a 4th is a no-brainer.
I can't agree with you more. All right, 505-246-0610. Come on in, and I want you to be part of the show today. We're going to talk with Corey Crosby Merritt. He's the Lobos starting running back. How did they feel from the player's perspective? You hear it from the coach. I'm excited to talk to him about how the players are feeling about going into College Station on Saturday and playing Texas A&M and open up the season. We're going to do that coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. How's your vehicle? I know, mine too. And I keep telling you I'm going to do it, but I'm going to. And I'm going to call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. I just got to make the phone call or get online and go to otsdetailing.com. Have On the Spot Automotive Detailing come out and detail your vehicle. Inside, outside, under the hood, under the seats, everywhere. Like the day you took it off the lot clean is what it's going to be. It is one of your biggest investments. Protect it. Take care of your investment. you're going to enjoy being in your vehicle. Look, you spend a lot of time in it, and this time of year, you probably spend a lot more time in your car. Call on the spot and have them take care of it. And they do it at your place when it's convenient, where it's convenient for you. You don't go to them. I don't even know where their office is. It doesn't matter. They know where mine is. They come out to me. They're in the parking lot, and they do it at my convenience. They also does on-the-spot automotive detailing, offer a 10% discount to our military and to teachers. Learn more. Schedule online at otsdetailing.com. otsdetailing.com.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
climb back above that line to get into the playoffs. Fought back, got a late goal from Will Seymour after 2 Mando Moreno goals. 3-3 draw with Las Vegas Lights. They get a point. And they had to scramble back. That was a 2-win team, Las Vegas, JJ. And while they did get the point, probably not the result they were looking for. And I know not the elation, even though they had to come back from being down, where it looked really, really bleak to get the 1 point, but certainly not what they were looking for last night.
You had a 2-win team coming in at home. You find yourself down 3-1 in the second half.
Yeah.
You need a late equalizer just to tie it. That was a very disappointing homestand.
One more left. Charleston Battery will be at the ball pitch on Saturday. You can get out there and catch United on Saturdays. They wrap up a 4-game homestand. 505-246-0610 is how you get to us. Chad, good morning. You're on The Sports Animal. Hello, Chad.
Hey, guys. Just calling about the Trey Lance thing again.
Yep.
Just one big thing here. If Kyle Shanahan, who's known to develop quarterbacks in an offensive guru, if he didn't want him, and he had a really good look at him,
it's
and
real.
he's already taken a couple guys over by several teams, I'm talking about in that sense, and Mr. Irrelevant, he let him go. Jerry Jones is always looking for, I can get a deal on this. I can get a steal on this. He's done that multiple times over the year. The list goes on and on. Ryan Leaf, he would have taken Johnny Manziel if it was up to him, let's be honest.
Yep.
There's a number of them. And I don't see the benefit to Dak as well. So the one thing, look at Kyle Shanahan. I trust his interpretation of a quarterback.
Yeah,
okay,
that's fair.
And also, if you look at Dak Prescott, it's really a pivotal year for him to step up to that next level. I don't think he's going to be motivated by something like this. In his psyche, just kind of, I don't know him personally, but I have a feeling this isn't the kind of thing that motivates him. He's probably somebody who is motivated in a different way, and I think this is probably going to discourage him and maybe plant some seeds of doubt in a very pivotal year where we need him as a Cowboys fan to step up to the next level. So I just don't see the benefit of this. And then finally, 4th-round pick, a small little thing at the end, but guess who was our 4th-round pick when we picked him up? Dak Prescott. So you can get value at the 4th
100%
round. So
you can.
I kind of disagree that that's not something just to kind of throw away. But
Great call. No, great call, Chad.
those are my
Appreciate
points.
it. No, thank you. A couple things. I don't think there's a throwaway. And so if I wasn't clear on that, I think there is value in a 4th-round pick. I think what they're saying is if they believe that there is that talent in this quarterback, then is it worth a 4th-round pick? And if that's what we lose, it's worth the gamble. Okay? I'm not telling you can't find value at 4. The league is made up of dudes who were drafted 3, 4, 5, 6 round. Okay? His point is so good, though, and I think there's merit to it. Everybody tells you Kyle Shanahan's a really smart football guy, right? What do we hear as the knock on Jerry Jones? Why didn't he hire football guys to run his football operation, right? He's a really good businessman. He made a lot of money in business, but they were good when Jimmy Johnson was there doing the football stuff and Parcells was doing football stuff, and they haven't been since. So Chad's point is valid. I don't know what you guys think of it. Shanahan had him. Shanahan's this quarterback guru. Shanahan that took the big swing and realized, oh, damn, he can't play for me. Let's get rid of him for a 4th-round pick. That's my valuation. And he says, basically, I trust the football guy, a really smart, good, respected football coach, that this guy can't play.
But then you always have the other side of that, of the people thinking, well, they can do it, but we can do it. They might not have had the right idea or the plan, but we will have the right idea.
How often does that work? I mean, I'm sure it happens sometimes. But how often does that really work?
Not a lot with top quarterbacks. Usually they just go into the mixer and they're bouncing around, get some opportunities, but never really pop again.
You know, I'm looking at Shanahan, and this is going to be a big year for him, for his reputation. right? He walked away from the Jimmy G thing twice, swung and missed on Trey Lance, and he's all in on Brock Purdy. Are you guys convinced Brock Purdy is a long-term good NFL quarterback?
No.
I'm not convinced either. Now, he might be. Are you?
Not convinced, no.
Are you leaning that he will be? Long-term. I'll go 5 years being long-term in the NFL.
I'll take the under.
Okay. Here's the deal. If he's not, do we start looking at Shanahan and just going, is he really that much of a freaking genius?
Absolutely.
Still.
No, I mean, you question.
Okay.
But there's a reality to it is.
His system's really good.
Because of the players.
Yeah.
It's the players.
So if he swings and misses on this quarterback, right? And he swings and misses on Lance, and what would bury him even more if Jim Garoppolo has a really nice season in Vegas. Or am I looking at this guy just going, wait a minute, this genius who knows everything got this most important position in American sports so 100% totally wrong?
Because it's not and part of that too is it's not the system. We keep saying the system. The system's no good without those players.
Yeah.
Like if they were running this system in Arizona, they wouldn't be winning games.
So yesterday we played Jimmy Garoppolo's comments from Vegas, right? Talking about the Niners, said it's just weird. It's a weird situation. And it was bitter Jimmy, right? And understandably so. And if you saw the video of that, you saw his face. What he didn't say said it all about the 49ers. Shanahan was asked about that yesterday. Quote, Jimmy, the comments are the comments. I'm not concerned about his comments. I think anytime you trade up to the third pick in the draft and it doesn't work out, that's the weird situation. But that is the situation. So that's what happened. I don't think it's that weird. It's unusual that it doesn't work out, but I wouldn't think it's weird. I think that's unusual. End quote. I don't know what the hell he said. I've heard so many word salads in the last week and a half of coaches and trying to spin stuff, and I get it. I mean, I totally get it. They all have to talk, and they don't want to talk. And I don't know, man. This is a huge year for Shanahan, isn't it?
Yeah. He's not exempt from pressure. If you have a team that's loaded, and everyone feels you should be a top 2 team in the NFC, even with the giant questions at quarterback, and you're unable to figure that out, you're still running through guys. Not a genius.
Remember last week we were talking about the great coaches in this league, and it was Belichick and Reed and Tomlin, and I mentioned his Shanahan in there, and I got the angry text from the 49er fan. Your Rams bias is showing through. You didn't even mention Shanahan. I mean, what's he won? I'm just asking. He's got to the NFC Championship, got to a Super Bowl.
Career record 52-46 in the regular season.
Just ask. I mean, this is a big year for him. Big year for the Lobos too. How do the players feel about going to Texas A&M, opening up against the 23rd ranked Texas A&M Aggies? Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt is their starting running back. We're going to hear from him how he rose to the top of the running back chart, what they think about going to A&M, and why the guys call him Bill. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Out of us.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Just a little trip to College Station to open the season in front of 104,000 fans. That's it. It's Lobo football job this weekend. They're going to go to Texas, take on the 23rd ranked team in the country in Texas A&M. You can listen to the game over on News Radio KKOB. It's the opening drive. Thanks for being with us this morning. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Camp is over. It is game week, and in a couple of days, they get to hit somebody else. You get to learn a little bit about themselves. And if you've been out to practice, and JJ, I know you've been out quite a bit. I've been out. One of the guys that everybody's kind of going, damn, who's number 5? Who's that dude? He's fast. He's run away from people, and he's risen to the top of a really talented running back room. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, a transfer from Alabama State. He will be listed as RB1, running back 1, as the Lobos open up the season, and he joins us this morning on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Ja'Cory. How you living?
Good morning, sir. I'm living good, man.
You guys ready to go hit someone else? I'll bet it's always this, camp's over and the excitement. What's the feeling during game week coming out of 6-7 weeks of training camp?
The feeling during game week is pretty amazing. We've been banging with each other all fall camp, so we're just ready to get up to someone else. It's a great feeling. Everybody's excited, pumped, practicing hard, and I think we'll be ready.
All right, talk about who you're opening up and where you're opening up. How much do you guys talk about? I know what Coach says. We hear Coach in his press conference, and he was with us on Monday. But as far as the players going into that place, how much do you give yourself an opportunity to look around, go, wow, this is really cool, there's 104,000 people here, and then just say, whatever, man, it's just a football field and another bunch of dudes? How are you approaching this?
We're approaching this as another game, a game to get our season started. We're approaching it as if we're going to come win and not look at the logo that we're playing, and we're just treating it like another game, excited to play.
Well, Ja'Cory, for you, the opportunity to come to the University of New Mexico after your time at Alabama State, what have you thought about Albuquerque and then your decision to become a Lobo?
I'm actually loving the decision to become a Lobo. It's been a fantastic experience so far. The people here are like family, and I'm just ready to play for the city of Albuquerque and show them what we can do, what we can bring to the table this year.
And for you, kid playing at Lanier High School in Alabama, you go to Alabama State. What is the experience like for you, being able to kind of get out of the state and expand your experience and your horizon? What have been some of the challenges in that for you?
It's been pretty good so far. It's definitely a culture shock, leaving home after 22 years. And I think it was a great decision for me for meeting new people and things like that. So it's been a good decision.
Ja'Cory Krosky, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt is with us. He's the Lobo starting running back. Why here? When you decided you want to go do something else, you had 1 year left, you're leaving Alabama State. Why New Mexico?
Because of Coach Vincent and his offense, me trusting his offense, him being a winning coach, and I just think it was a good fit for me, and it was something I think we can. It's a winning culture I think we can bring back to Albuquerque. So that was just something that stuck out to me. Like we can really come change some things, and that was really it.
Jacory, it's interesting you say that. You didn't play for him. You played at Alabama State. He was at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, but obviously in the same state. How did that relationship form? Did you know him before? And how much in Alabama did people take notice? Obviously the Crimson Tide and Auburn are the big deal there, but obviously people noticed what was happening at UAB.
I actually met him when I got in the portal, and ever since then, like we've been communicating heavy, and the relationship's been great. And with him being at UAB and doing the things he did, like putting Devo in the league and stuff like that, them having a ranked offense in the nation, that just stood out to me. So I thought it was a great fit to come play for Coach Vincent and Coach G.
Jacory Krosky-Merritt is the Lobos running back. Dude, you've taken over camp in a way that everybody, every time I've been out there, everybody's looking at who's that dude? Who's that guy? You came in probably, well, I know not promised a starting spot. Did you think you were going to earn that RB1 spot when you got here? Because that's a pretty talented room that you're in, and there's, I think, 5 guys listed on the depth chart.
Yes, sir. No, I actually didn't come in as a starter. With me coming in, that was like, we have a talented running back room, and you'll have to work for your position. And I was up to the challenge, and with me coming in, all I wanted to do was just display my talent, and that's exactly what happened. And I'm excited with the decision I made.
Jacory Krosky-Merritt joining us here on The Sports Animal. So growing up in Alabama, is everything about the Crimson Tide? Does UAB sneak in there as a football kid growing up in Alabama? What is the focus? What are you guys watching, talking about all the time?
Can you repeat that question again? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, like just growing up in Alabama, is the Crimson Tide like the overwhelming theme? Like when you're with your friends, you're talking football, you're watching football. Is it all the University of Alabama, or what are you guys watching?
Oh yeah, in Alabama, the University of Alabama. That's a big thing down there. Them, Auburn, and UAB. That was actually shooting to the top. So they also put things on notice. And with Coach Vincent being there, that was the offense that I love to come play for, and we made it happen.
Jacory, guys call you Bill. I was out there, they look at Bill. I'm like, who the hell's Bill? Where did that come from, the nickname? Do you like it? And when I'm going to be doing some play-by-play on TV. JJ's got a radio game.
Yes,
do we call you Bill, or do we call you Jacory, or what do you like?
You can call me Bill. It's actually a nickname that stuck out to me when I was younger, and that's what everybody's been calling me since.
Where'd it come from? Why Bill?
Because it's kind of crazy, but I had a bald head, and they used to just laugh at me and compare me to the character Little Bill. So it was just something that just stuck, and I had just accepted it.
Way worse things than having a bald head. Let me just tell you. Don't beat up on the guys with bald heads now. It's pretty special. Hey, this offense, and I don't know what you knew about New Mexico before. Like when you got into the portal and you started looking around, I don't know what you knew, and then you probably started doing some research and looked at where they were ranked offensively, and it wasn't very good. What did you know about UNM offensively, and why did you decide you wanted to be part of something that was ranked at the bottom of the NCAA stats?
I actually didn't know anything about New Mexico. With me getting in the portal, I never knew that I'll come here. But with me building that relationship with Coach Vincent and knowing the vision that he had, and with me seeing the vision that he had, I thought it was just like a perfect opportunity. And we just went with the plan, and I think the plan is going to work out very well. And I'm just excited to be a part of this team.
Bill, what about going A&M? I know you said it's another game. What's the biggest crowd you played in front of? What's the biggest stadium? You were at Alabama State. I'm sure you probably played at Lanier High School. You probably played in front of some big crowds in high school. What's the biggest crowd you've ever played in front of? What was the game?
The biggest crowd I played in front of would have to be Auburn or UCLA.
All right, so you played some big places.
And I also played against Florida State. So it was all those games. It was pretty fun, and they all worked out well. So I'm just looking at this as another game, and it'll be fun. It'll be exciting.
And let me ask you this: You're one of your quarterbacks, DC Tapscott, played for Appalachian State. He was on the roster last year. They went into the place you're going on Saturday, and they beat this team last year. Has he talked about that experience at all with you guys?
Yeah, so he always shares. He was like, the other is just another logo on a other team helmet, and he was like, it was like an amazing experience. And yeah, he was like, it's just football at the end of the day. As everybody knows, it's just football, and just ready to go play.
5'11", 204, you're fast. Go run away from those big, bad Texas A&M Aggies. Yeah. So is it just Bill, or is it Billy, or is it William, or just Bill?
It's Bill, B-I-L-L.
Yeah. No Billy though, right? Not Billy. All right, now I'm down.
Yes, sir.
All right, Bill. Appreciate the conversation, man. Really, really enjoyed it. Congratulations on the success. Go have yourself a great year. Stay healthy. Safe travels to Texas A&M, and good luck on Saturday.
All right, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all for having me.
All right, be well, Bill. See you. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, or Bill. I really enjoy that young man. I'm looking at a picture of him. I could hear him smile. There was almost a cool little laugh to it. I'm not gonna lie, dude. The first time I went to practice, I'm like, "Who's that dude?" Right there.
He's a very good running back.
He is fast, and he was running away from dudes. Like, Christian Washington is good. I like the room. I like what they've got. You look at it and you said, okay, there's a bunch of guys on there. Andrew Henry was the guy that they brought in from Louisiana Monroe that was supposed to be this guy.
Had a high ankle sprain, so that
it slowed him in camp. Right.
But Krosky Merritt has absolutely lived up to the hype that's coming out of camp, and it's the offense. And Bryant Vincent is that dude. Krosky Merritt didn't come here because the Lobos were last in offense. And I can make them better. He came here because of Bryant Vincent and the connection to Alabama. He didn't even know where Albuquerque was on a map, probably, when he was in the transfer portal.
They said knew nothing about it.
But a football coach that he's familiar with at won games called him. And he's like, all right, I'll go. And Bryant Vincent is a different guy. And you talk to people,
I agree with that.
His aura, because he was even just an interim head coach last year, they haven't had an offensive coordinator like that around here in a long time.
Yeah, and those of you who are saying, Bryant Vincent, who's that? Bryant Vincent is the offensive coordinator. He was the interim head coach at UAB, and when at the end of the season, after UAB won their bowl game, they won the Bahamas Bowl, the UAB administration went a different way. They brought in Trent Dilfer to be the head coach at UAB. First-time head coach. They went for the name instead of a guy that the players loved, and he said, all right, and Danny, I think, great hire by Danny Gonzalez, to get a guy who's proven, who's been a head coach, who's been a winner everywhere, took his quarterback with him, and obviously helped recruit some talent. And we'll see where it goes because the offense absolutely needed an injection, an infusion of help, talent, scheme, everything. And this young man, I think you're going to enjoy watching him. I just, again, at practice, it's one of those guys that literally just leaps off of it and just goes, whoa, that dude right there is something. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in today. 505-246-0610. 8:30 this morning, we're going to talk with Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. What he is looking forward to in Week 1. What are his biggest questions going into Week 1? He will be with us coming up at 8:30 this morning in about, 17 minutes from now on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Your home for Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football.
This report.
Olivas
Going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point, and their...
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that, Ethan Olguin? My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto made one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
Is that Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
That's Sweet Pete Jr. right
What a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
Happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vicente Tafoya. Ryan Brown that punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it pay.
Back.
No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
Bill conversation. Grady said, now that's how you earn a nickname, Bill. Awesome interview, great energy. Hope he stays healthy and makes a difference. It's from Grady. Look, whatever happens this weekend, right? I think that young man's got a good year in front of him. I'm looking forward to just watching this club. I know you are too. The more invested you get in it, JJ's going to call a game on radio. I've got 4 games on TV coming up, so both of us have really been kind of drilling down into the roster a little bit. You've been out of practice a little bit more than I have. I had a lot of meetings this week, dude. But you want to be optimistic. I know we're both cautious about it, but dudes like that, you start getting to know some of these guys. I mean, that's a hard kid not to root for.
I appreciate the conversation. You can tell he's a kid that he's got to get used to it. And I think it's a great decision. Put your starting running back out there because he's going to get asked a lot of questions. And if he is successful, he's going to get a lot of opportunities like that this year to talk about his story and to talk about his game. And that's one of the things that I love about the transfer portal. And I know it's really frustrating for a lot of people. It's that old school mentality. It's also that mentality that people think, a lot of these kids, well, they're just jumping because they can't handle it. That's not the case. Like, this was a guy that was 4 years at Alabama State that put in his time, and now he gets his opportunity to play Division I football.
Our coach is jumping because they can't handle it too.
And he's getting an experience that he might never have been able to get. And it's to come to a completely new environment. Maybe it's a city he falls in love with. Maybe he is the kid that ends up going back home. But to get this experience, to put on that Lobo jersey, to represent the state of New Mexico, those are the great stories when it comes to college athletics. And we still need to talk about that because it's going to get very frustrating at times with conference realignment, with everything based on television dollars, that you can forget who the actual people are that are playing the game.
Yeah, I the personalities are what make this. And I think we lose sight of that. I ask the question so often, for whom are we doing this, right? And I don't know what the answer is. I really don't. I had a long conversation with someone really deep in the weeds on conference realignment yesterday. And nobody knows where it's going, right? I think, the momentum's leading towards Stanford, Cal, and SMU to the ACC. And then the AAC, I saw yesterday, Mike Oresco is going to make a big push for Washington State and Oregon State and maybe even some of the Mountain West schools and whatever. And I don't know a lot of fans who are in love with this. I don't know a lot of fans of Arizona who's thrilled that they're going to the Big 12 and going to play in Tampa and West Virginia. I know a lot of fans of Oregon who are thrilled. Like, nobody's happy the Pac-12 broke up, I don't think. I don't even know a lot of fans from SC who are glad that they're going to the Big 10. And I keep saying, well, who are we doing this for? Well, are we doing it for the fans? Obviously not. Are we doing it for the student athlete? I don't know that they're seeing any benefit from it. I mean, they get the NIL money, but that's not coming from any of this. Are we doing it for what? So we can build more facilities? Like, I've been on some campuses this summer, by the way, and the money that goes in the facilities is insane. I watched last summer North Carolina's brand new locker room, what they did there. I was at Vanderbilt Stadium this summer, what they were doing to that stadium. I was at USC's facility, which are unbelievable this summer. Like I've been to a bunch of them. And JJ, when I asked the question of for whom are we doing this, I literally, honestly don't know what the answer is or should be. But I talked to a young man like that, and I realize why they play the game. Like, those guys, man, just who's on the schedule next week? Where am I going? Who we playing? To him, just another logo. Now, it's easy to say that. I know it's the right thing to say. And look, I hope these guys go out there in pregame, look around, see what 104,000 people in a stadium looks like, and then just get tunnel vision after that. I mean, it's impossible to ignore it, right? But when you talk to a young man like that, you hear the passion these guys. That's a fifth-year senior, right? 5'10", 103, played at Alabama State. What are the odds he's playing football beyond this year? I hope he does, but what are the odds, right? They're not great. So this young man's probably got 1 year of football left. Let him go have fun with it. Transfer portal, you lose guys, you get guys. I'm going to tell you this again, and I know some of you don't want to hear it. But you've got to get used to the transfer portal. And I firmly believe that certainly in basketball, and we'll see in football, the University of New Mexico has benefited more from the transfer portal than it has hurt them. They have gotten more contributing key players in basketball, right? Certainly than have left.
Absolutely.
Now, we'll see in football. I know you were upset, and everybody's upset. Cody Moon's gone, and A.J. Halsey's gone, and is it Deion Hunter's gone?
Not upset.
No, it's a bummer. It's a bummer.
Big holes to fill.
Big holes to fill, and it's next guy. So, but you got this guy, and you got your quarterback in. You've got, there's 19 transfers on this team.
The offense is entirely new because of the transfer portal, and they're players that are going to contribute.
And you're going to learn of names like DJ Washington. You're going to hear that name. Andrew Henry's probably going to play for you. There's like on defense, Tyler Keeney's your starting nose tackle. He's from Los Lunas, but he is a transfer from UCLA, right? So you're gonna know these names. My point being, I know for some of us it sucks, and I hate seeing guys leave, and we wanted that guy here, whatever. But if you can't adapt to it, then college sports isn't your thing. Like, it's just not, because it's not going backwards. It's not going to slow down. It's not, this is the way it is. And so if you still want to be a Lobo fan, if you still want to love your Michigan, whoever your team is, it's just the way it's going to be. And changes aren't permanent, but change is. And this is how it's changing. Speaking of change, there's a new favorite at the top of the ACC. There's a new favorite at the top of the SEC. College football starts now, tonight in earnest. Jerry Palm from CBSSports.com is going to be our guest next. Really excited to talk to him about what his biggest questions are going into week one and what he's excited about and what you can get excited about. That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football.
This report brought to you by San Diego.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area.
I mean, we kicked it off last week. 7 games, including that Aggies lost to UMass. Aggies will be back home on Saturday. They will host Western Illinois. Lobos open up the season over on News Radio KKOB Saturday evening at Texas A&M. It's the opening drive. Jeff Sibieta, JJ Buck. Lots going on, including Florida and Utah tonight. First full slate of college football. One of the best over at CBS Sports joins us every Thursday right here on The Sports Animal. He is Jerry Palm. Good morning, Jerry Palm. How you living?
All right, how are you?
Life's good. I get football like every day now for, I don't know, the next million days or whatever. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Hey, before we get into the games, latest what you're hearing, anything on the ACC? It really feels like the momentum is they're going to add Stanford, Cal, and SMU, and then the next step is going to be, what do the Mountain West and the American look like? Is that kind of where you are?
Yeah, it's it may have already happened if not for the shooting on the North Carolina campus.
That's correct.
That ended up postponing the ACC meeting, which, as far as I know, has not been rescheduled. I haven't had a chance to look.
Yeah, I heard they
morning.
might meet tomorrow, but that absolutely delayed everything. Yes.
Yeah, no question. So I don't think they're calling a meeting to vote without the votes at this point. If nothing has changed, if nobody flipped, what's the point of calling another meeting to vote?
Then what? Does Oresco get? He's going to get aggressive. Do you think Mike Oresco can convince Washington State, Oregon State that it's best for them to go play in Tampa, Florida, and Philadelphia, or do those schools go join with the Mountain West?
I would say maybe, but I would lean Mountain West. Just because, you see, once you get into, it's one thing to be, Oregon and Washington traveling all over the place and getting even a portion of Big Ten money.
Yes.
But when you're only getting $7 million a year from a TV deal instead of, 30, the travel for all of the other sports in particular becomes cumbersome. The football team could still do it, but when you're talking about entire athletic departments and all of that travel, that becomes somewhat cumbersome cross-country trips. So my guess would be Mountain West, but they are not in a hurry to do that, either one of those schools. They want to see if they can still find a way to piece something together, and they don't really necessarily need to be in a hurry. The Pac-12 still has assets.
Well, that's the big thing, Jerry. That's what people aren't understanding. There's a lot of money that's going to maybe go all to them, all those units, all the assets. Everything now goes to the two remaining members.
They also have the debt to Comcast, but that's not going away, regardless of what happens.
Right.
The Comcast debt still has to be paid. It's going to be a lot easier if they can hold on to those assets. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they played as independents for a year or two, even while they're trying to put something together, just to make sure they can keep that money. But I don't know. They wouldn't play as. They obviously
not long term.
Independents.
Yeah, not
they're going to be the Pac. It's like the worst countdown ever. Pac-12 to.
Numbers mean nothing, Jerry. How many are in the Big 10 or in the Big 12? Not the numbers that are in their names.
Yeah, but the Pac-12 used to keep the numbers.
I know they did. I remember the Pac-8. I remember. I know. He's Jerry Palm, CBSSports.com. Biggest question you want to see answered in Week 1 of college football?
Week 1. I guess for me it's the LSU-Florida State game, because each of those teams has got championship and playoff, aspirations. And the loser of that game is already a leg behind and has got challenges in their league, either one of them. So that's, which of those teams is going to, put themselves, a good foot forward at least in their effort to make the college football playoff. That's really the big game on the calendar with championship aspirations. There's questions all over the place. What's Nebraska going to be like? I think they play tonight. Under Matt Rule, Purdue's got a new coach, so obviously I'm interested in that if nobody else is.
I am.
But teams with new coaches, what are you going to look like? Because when you have a new coach, there's question marks all over the place. Player transfers have made things, kind of wild. And then Utah, Florida, is that also tonight?
That's tonight. Cam Rising is doubtful, the Utah quarterback.
Yeah, he's probably not going to play. So, what's Utah got without him in what's, really, Florida's going to challenge them. They're maybe a mid-level SEC team at the moment, but, you better show up ready to play. And without your quarterback, that's hard. So there's going to be, how good's their backup? Because, how long is Rising going to miss? He'll probably be back next week, right?
Maybe.
But there was thoughts he might be able to play this week earlier. Now it looks like he won't.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, joining us here on The Sports Animal. What are you anticipating out of Deion Sanders in Colorado at number 17 TCU?
Yeah, it's a loss, but TCU's another question mark team. The top of the Big 12, K-State had a great year last year. Texas is the favorite. I'm not buying Oklahoma. I think they'll be better than last year, but I'm not sure they'll be challenging for the title better. But TCU, they lost a lot off that team. Can they come back and put together another strong season and maybe contend for the Big 12? That obviously, Colorado is a big story, but what's their roster like? What do they have to work with there? after Dion basically came in and totally cleaned house.
You know, Jerry, when we talk about the Pac-12, Caleb Williams as a face, the Heisman Trophy, USC, but there's a lot of good quarterbacks to top that league. What are you anticipating about the potential playoff opportunities for the teams that top the Pac-12?
Yeah, it's going to be hard because the top 5 teams in that league are all pretty good, capable of double-digit wins. You know, talent on the roster, good quarterbacks all around. So that's SC, Washington, Utah, and both Oregon schools. So, there's some pretty talented. Those are some pretty talented teams. It's going to be hard for someone to be undefeated in conference play. And if anybody can do that, they've got a real shot at the college football playoff. But it might be that top of the league doesn't have one alpha to stand out and put that team in the college football playoff. If they just beat each other up, kind of like they did last year, they may end up out of the playoffs again.
Yeah, they do it every year. I mean, it's the Pac-12.
Yeah.
It's Jerry Palm from CBS Sports is with us. All right, couple of interesting ones out this way. Fresno State at Purdue. That's your alma mater. Fresno State's a 3.5-point dog. New coach at Purdue. Mountain West defending champion going in there. I don't know if people out your way are taking it seriously. That's a pretty good program. Teddy's got always has good offenses. Jeff Tedford does. That's a pretty good Fresno State team, I think, that's going in there.
I keep telling people Purdue's non-conference schedule. They're at Virginia Tech and home to Syracuse after this. That this might be the best team on that non-conference schedule. It's like you cannot overlook. I'm telling everybody I know, you can't overlook these guys. They've got questions on offense because they lost not just Hainer, their quarterback, but their top skill position guys. So there's going to be question marks about the offense, and the defense may be ahead of, which is underrated because everybody thinks about offense when you talk Fresno State, but their defense is pretty good too. Their defense may actually be ahead of their offense this week. So we don't really know what we're going to get, but we know we're going to see a program that knows how to win. And they're well coached. So I'm certainly not taking Fresno State lightly.
No, they're nice. They're nice.
And, for Purdue, question marks all over the place because new coach, Ryan Walters, young guy, brought in Graham Harrell as the offensive coordinator. We're going to run something along the lines of the air raid offense. Plucked Hudson Card from Texas, who was a big-time recruit and who got out-recruited by 2 other guys and left. He almost beat Alabama last year, coming in the first quarter after Ewers was hurt. So, so Purdue seems to be pretty well set at quarterback, but questions all over the place. Brand new defensive scheme, a lot of new faces from the transfer portal. Purdue's offense is maybe ahead of its defense. So it should be an interesting game, but boy, don't ask me to pick it.
No.
And
especially when it's
Purdue
your
at
team.
home, but yeah.
What if I told you 2 teams on upset alert? And let me give you 2 and tell me if I'm completely out of my mind. The second one's the one I like the most. Wyoming at home against Texas Tech interests me, and they're getting 14 points. And I think Toledo has a real shot to beat Illinois.
Yeah, I do too. Trying to think who I picked for my upset of the week. It wasn't either of those. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought about the Ohio-Toledo game. I didn't know enough about Wyoming or Texas Tech to brave picking a 14-point line for an upset of the week. But those are games. I like I said, I don't really know enough about Wyoming and Texas Tech. I do know playing at Wyoming is not a lot of fun.
No, that team going up to Laramie with a quarterback that they got a veteran quarterback.
Illinois lost their defensive coordinator. Still have a pretty talented team. They've got one of the best running backs. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do. They should be better at quarterback this year, but Toledo, they're plenty capable. That's the fact. The favorite in the MAC, and those teams are usually pretty competent and can put a scare in somebody. So yeah, that one would not surprise me at all if Toledo were able to pull that off.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, with us here on The Sports Animal. There's going to be a lot of coaches that will remain in the Big 12 that continue to make headlines, taking shots at those leaving the conference. But what do you see from the Big 12 this year?
It should be pretty good. It should have good depth at the top. Texas is probably better. I picked them to win the league, and I just hate doing that because, I don't trust them. I don't trust Oklahoma. Oklahoma State, I don't know if they're going to be quite as good. Kansas State, TCU, so many, and Baylor. I mean, just a lot of really good. I don't know if any of these teams are great, but that's a lot of really good teams, and it's going to be interesting to see if one can emerge as a college football playoff contender.
Enjoy the weekend. I know you will. Big, long weekend. Have fun with the football. Good luck to you and your Boilers, and we'll catch up with you next week. Read him every day over on CBSSports.com. On the Twitter, it's what's your X handle now?
No, I'm not calling it X, man. It's still Twitter.
What is it?
JP Palm CBS.
At JP Palm CBS. See, I screwed up for years. I thought that's what it was. At JP Palm CBS. Enjoy the weekend, my friend. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for the time.
All right, thanks.
Be well. He is Jerry Palm from CBSSports.com. When we come back, who's catching passes for the Broncos? Are they in the portal looking for receivers? Maybe they should be. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal, your home for Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving.
Everybody
now at fiestakia.com.
You see it this weekend? And everybody had a link to a chain. And they had to pass this chain around, build the chain, and tell their story, whatever it is, and end it with, I will not be the weakest link. Right? And I thought it was really a powerful scene that nobody's going to talk about. And each dude came in and said what it means to me, and I'm doing this for my wife and kid, and this is everything to me. I will not be the weakest link. Puts his link on the chain, hands to the next dude, and he tells a story. Well, you're only as good as your weakest link. Cliche, true. You're only as good as the guys you're throwing to if you're Russell Wilson, right? So who are the pass catchers for the Broncos? They kept 4 wide receivers on their initial 53-man roster. One of them's hurt, Jerry Jeudy. So they have Cortland Sutton, second-round pick Marvin Mims, and Brandon Johnson. You guys got to be concerned. Both of you were Broncos fans. You've both got to be concerned about how this offense is going to move. You got a running back coming off an ACL, a quarterback who's been bad, and a depleted receiving core. How are you scoring points?
That's a fantastic question that Sean Payton needs to figure out. And is it going to be more tight end sets, Greg Dulcich working at more as a wide receiver, which is his role in this offense?
Trout man?
Because Jerry Jeudy is going to miss time. He's not playing for a little while.
Probably 3 to 4 weeks,
comfortable
right?
with 3 wide receivers start the season?
I'm not. I'm not. So are you in the I almost said the portal. Are you on the waiver wire? Are you in the portal? Where you find receivers, there are guys that were just released. This is a problem. Tim Patrick's out. Who's the guy you cut? Hamler, right? You got I look around the NFL, and so JJ, you're working on your fantasy football draft, right? I don't know that I want any Denver Bronco. I look at offenses that are going to score. What I don't even care. Is a kicker any good? It doesn't matter. Kickers are kickers to me. Give me an offense that's going to score points. I want their kicker. I'll take a kicker last. Give me Seattle's kicker. Give me Cincinnati's kicker. Give me Kansas City, like I don't care who he is, right? I don't want their kicker. Like I don't want anybody right now on Denver because I got huge concerns about them putting up points.
Yeah, that's fair. I've got Williams in one league, and at the time I felt okay about it. Right now I'm hoping someone wants to trade.
So you don't want anybody either.
No, that's one, man, that's a bad situation on that offense, and it's not getting better.
So if you look at the waiver wire, at the cut list and who's been cut, if you looked at that at all, is there anybody, because there's some names out there that you're like, okay.
Jarvis Landry was one that really stood out.
I think that's the one that probably popped off the page to me, but he's like, what, 34? But give me a guy who can run underneath routes and get open.
I mean, that would be an upgrade compared to what they have right now. 34. It is a tough time to be a wide receiver in Denver. So I would explore all options.
Which means it's a tough time to be a quarterback, right? If it's a tough time to be a wide receiver, it's a tough time to be. Are you looking at have you guys seen the waiver? I don't even know what's there. I've been looking for the waiver wire.
Broncos haven't done anything on the waiver.
They haven't. They need to, don't they? I don't even know who's on their practice squad, whatever it is. Meanwhile, one of the most dominant players on the defensive side of the football is holding out on one of supposedly the best teams in the National Football League, who've been making a whole lot of off-field noise. Team says he will not be traded, that there's going to be a deal soon. I don't know. Damn season starts in a week. What about one of the best defensive ends in football? Will he sign? And the Dolphins say, yeah, we're not going to pay our quarterback. Never mind. We'll talk about it after the season. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Monday night, Sunday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Ozira, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
I guess it happens every year. It's highlighted when it's happening now. It's recency bias and all that stuff. But I guess it happens every year. We talk about holdouts as we head towards the season. 1 week from today, the NFL season will open up. 1 week from tonight, you get Chiefs and Lions. And so we talk about holdouts, and the Jonathan Taylor thing's a big deal because, well, it affects you and your fantasy football team way more than Nick Bosa holding out affects you and your fantasy football team. But there's all these things. You've got the best defensive player for the Kansas City Chiefs also holding out. What are we doing? It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and DC. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. The Nick Bosa one is interesting. If Nick Bosa doesn't play, and I don't believe that's the case, by the way. I believe he's going to play. Maybe he misses a game, but he is the star defensive end for the San Francisco 49ers. And Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, the coach and the general manager, continue to say they're going to sign him and he's going to get a big, giant, lucrative contract, and there's no scenario in which he'd be traded. If he does not play, do you still think the Niners are the second best team in the NFC?
If he is out the entire season?
Yeah, just if he doesn't play.
That hurts because that team is about talent.
Mm-hmm.
And you lose the best defensive player you have, that could drop you down a notch or two. So they are not the second best team if he does not.
Who would be? Dallas?
I think it opens the door for the Dallas Cowboys, the hype train that is the Detroit Lions, the Seattle Seahawks. Wide open.
Do you guys think Dallas is the third best team in the league? In the NFC, not in the league, in the NFC.
I do.
You do.
I waver on that a little bit. I would say yes, but I could be convinced otherwise.
I think Seattle's better.
That's the one that comes to my mind. I really think they're a good team. So if it is anyone, for me, it's Seattle as well.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to watch what Dallas does, because there is a ton of talent there, but there's always a ton of talent there. How good is Dak? But this is interesting to me on the holdouts, because you got big holdouts not only there, JJ, but the one in Kansas City is a big deal too, don't you think? Their best defensive player is holding out. Now you don't think of them about defense, but at some point you got to stop someone, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Jones hanging out or holding out is a big deal. These guys want their money. The front office says, "Yeah, we're going to take care of it. We're going to take care of it. We're going to take care of it." But at some point, you got a big giant hole, and I don't know. Can you score 35 points every week in the National Football League?
If you're the Chiefs, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't think the 49ers are, though. It is interesting because Chris Jones is also considered a top probably 5 DNs. So, I mean, those are 2 huge names, 2 of the biggest in that position.
Well, I mean, you could argue that they're 2 of the best, with Aaron Donald, 2 of the 3 best defensive linemen in football, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And 2 of them are holding out. One of them's on the Rams. I think it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal, and we'll see. Cowboy fan, this just came down about a half hour ago. And condolences to the Cowboy family. Gil Brandt, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and he was one of the guys who really built the Dallas Cowboys from the expansion team that they were into America's team. Gil Brandt died this morning. He was 91 years old. So he was the Cowboys vice president of player personnel, and he held that position for 28 years, from 1960 when they entered the NFL all the way through 1989. He was fired by the new owner and general manager, a guy named Jerry Jones, fired him. But under Brandt and under Tom Landry and under the general manager Tex Schramm, Cowboys posted 20 straight winning seasons from 65 to 85. 5 Super Bowls, 2 championships. They beat the Dolphins and the Broncos in those Super Bowls. Tom Landry went into the Hall of Fame. Schramm went into the Hall of Fame. Brandt didn't go until 2019, but at least he went in while he was still alive and got to do it. Of course, Landry went in 1990, Tex Schramm in 1991. He's in the Cowboys Ring of Honor. He was added in 2018, but this was a guy that was so key in the building of that brand. And Cowboy fan, I know you love him. I know I mean, at 91 years old, he lived a hell of a life. But that's something. All right, 505-246-0610. We are here for you today. Want you to be part of the show. You can get in on the defensive holdouts. Cowboy fan and Chief fan, and I know you are both there. Are you nervous yet about Nick Bosa, Chris Jones not being in camp? Or is it whatever, man? We're going to be fine. We are the Chiefs. We are the Niners. Because at some point, you can only whittle away so much, right?
I think Chris Jones is the bigger impact of the 2. It's the second best defensive tackle in the NFL right now is Chris Jones. And so much of Kansas City is based on the offense and Patrick Mahomes being able to do so much. And you got a lot of young guys that have to step up. Kadarius Toney, they think he's going to be available for week 1. That he's a huge piece to that puzzle to just keep them going.
Yep. At some point, right? Your weakest link. What is it? Are we going to do the Red Zone at 9:30? We'll talk about a lot of stuff in the National Football League. You guys are sending in correspondence. 505-246-0610. The emails the emails are coming to Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the text line, we were talking earlier in the show. Utah plays tonight in college football against Florida, and they'll do so without their starting quarterback. The injury. What is Cam Rising's injury? Do you know what it is? But he's doubtful tonight against Florida. And we were asking the question earlier. If you're a Pac-12 fan, how do you feel about the Pac-12? Are you rooting for him this year? Are you mad? How do you feel about him? And I honestly I said it because I'm struggling with it emotionally. I'm a Pac-12 guy. Grew up with the Pac-12. That's how I learned to love football. But I don't know how I feel about it. And then we started talking about it. And text line says, question, didn't the Lobos beat Utah in Utah when they were ranked back in the 2000s. It's Jared from Tucumcari. He says, still hate Utah and Alex Smith from the Mountain West days. I know they beat him here on a Thursday night. There was a big comeback. Brian Urlacher came back. They beat him on a Thursday night here when they were ranked, but I don't know if they beat him there. This one says, Bill, and by the way, if you missed this interview, you really should go catch it. We spoke with Corey Crosby Merritt, or Bill, Lobo starting running back. That'll be posted. It says Bill sounded like Eddie Murphy, don't you think? I didn't catch that, did you? I thought he was great, but I didn't catch the Eddie Murphy thing. Emails that are coming in this morning. This one is on United. United 3-3 draw last night out at the ball pitch with Las Vegas Lights. It says, Divider's hot take, 8675309, Jeffy. What does that mean? It says, you asked why the OD doesn't get a lot of United calls. He says, I think it's a unique support base. I don't think they are many sports fans. Okay, might be. You're welcome to get in if you want. Tough draw last night. They had to come back from down 3-1 against a team that had won 2 games all season long. I think they planned on 3 points last night as they're trying to climb over that playoff line. They remain in 9th place in the table.
Super disappointing. That's who they are.
That's probably right. Lobo Hobo said, you know the answer, Jeffy. You asked where all the money is going. It's going into the women's basketball program, losing $5 million for a chance to win the belt. What does that even mean? What money is going? What did I ask? Okay.
TV money.
The TV money? Okay. Omar is in. He says, I think Coach Jerry Jones has an infatuation on guys that he couldn't get the first time, Jeff. How many times did NFL's most complete franchise, Dallas Cowboys, look at Jonathan Paul football? They look at Johnny football a lot. No, look, Jerry likes that high-profile look-at-me guy. 100%, that's what he likes. Hence the Trey Lance thing. Rod says, living it up, Jefferson. I can't wait until next week when ACC football debuts on the CW. Okay, I can wait because I won't be able to see it. You think they get that figured out? The NFL starts next week, dude.
You need to check out YouTube TV. I fired it up last night. It's pretty awesome.
Do you love it?
It's 4K.
Audra's got it.
Nice.
She really likes it too. And I go over there and I figured it out. And so.
Did you make your own profile?
No.
You can customize that thing so much. It's awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
So I should do that?
Yes, you should.
They got the Red Zone channel all set up and ready to go on DirecTV.
There's a lot of ways to get Red Zone. You can get it on YouTube.
I know. Gus says, massive game tonight for the Isotopes, Jeff. 6 games out with 22 to play. We're rapidly approaching the point where Albuquerque's baseball team's going to have to start talking about running the table if they want to make the tournament. 22 left. They're all big now. Lobo Hobo wants to vent. Why does school start so damn early? Today would have been the traditional first day of class not that long ago when Lobo Hobo was a little student. I don't know, man. Changes aren't permanent, but change is. I know it's an old Rush line. But it's so true. I know I keep going to it. It's hard to deal with change, but you got to deal with change. Dan says, how many times do nervous Lobo fans check in on Tennessee Tech at FCS number 6 Furman tonight? Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Derek Charles. Tennessee Tech is Lobo's opponent next week. You'll have that scout next week. I know you will. Will you check in on that? Did you? I mean, you'll be interested in the score,
my name
right?
is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business
Tennessee
partner,
Tech,
David
Furman.
Chavez.
I mean, maybe
we are the owners of it
because I'm calling that game next week. But I don't think I'm not turning away from Nebraska, Minnesota, or Florida, Utah, probably to check in on that game. I don't think. I can watch the tape next. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep them coming, and I will let you know about them. They haven't named a starting quarterback for the Cardinals, but one of the two guys said, "Yep, I'm ready to go." Yo. It's not your job yet, unless maybe he's been told, but we haven't. But who is assuming the role, and why this might be not as bad as we think? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. Your home for Monday night, Sunday night, and Thursday night football.
Telling it
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years.
The Sports Animal. Thanks for being with us. Opening drive. Know you got a lot to do every single morning. Really appreciate you making the choice to spend some time with me, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. All right. Colt McCoy got cut by the Cardinals on cutdown day earlier this week. And common sentiment was, oh my gosh, there's tanking. And whatever. They're not tanking any more today than they were last week. They're no better or worse off without Colt McCoy, a 38-year-old dude who couldn't move, who was marginal at his very best. Can we be real? The very best version of Colt McCoy in the NFL was marginal, right?
That is correct.
All right. Was he ever really good? Did you ever go, I want Colt McCoy?
No.
All right. So they got Joshua Dobbs. They traded for him about a week and a half ago. It was kind of a quiet trade, wasn't it? They whatever. Joshua Dobbs came over. I noticed it because the only reason I noticed it was because he was the number 2 in Cleveland. And I'm like, wow, does that mean Dorian Thompson-Robinson has won that number 2 job behind Deshaun Watson? We love DTR. He's my preseason MVP. So he claims that he was close to joining the Cardinals as a free agent, but he was with the Browns. He played in 2022. And so he went there. Did we decide? Derek Carr, Jordan Love, was there a third? Is there one somewhere else? I mean, I love this. But did Clayton Tune rip it up in college football to you? Was he great at Houston? He was fine. He was good. I watched a little bit of him in preseason. I mean, I don't know that I think Josh Dobbs is a world beater, but I think Josh Dobbs is the obvious answer here. You guys don't think so? You think it's a coin flip?
Josh Dobbs is the answer just because he's been in the NFL.
Okay.
And has 2 NFL starts to his resume.
Mm-hmm. Joshua Dobbs said, I know the quarterback situation is going to play out however the coaches see fit, but for me, I come in ready to compete every single day. I push myself, but also approach the room in that way. And so I'm excited to be a part of it and be part of the team, end quote. So if he starts against Washington, he's played 8 games in 6 seasons. 8 games in 6 seasons. And maybe this is his shot, man. He feels like he'll be ready. He goes. I think James Conner healthy is a better running situation than the Broncos have right now. You don't think so then?
Nope.
Why?
I think Javonte Williams, Samaje Perine is better than James Conner.
Okay, I disagree, but we'll watch it. I think James Conner, I would rather have than Javonte Williams coming off the injury. I want to see Javonte Williams come back and be strong and healthy. I like Samaje Perine as a number 2 guy. Marquise Brown is a good number 2, but that's all you guys have in Denver is a number 2. Rondale Moore. And then what? They're really similar to me. The only advantage you'd like to believe you have in Denver is you want to believe that Russell Wilson's a better quarterback, right?
And he is a better quarterback than Joshua Dobbs and Clayton.
Better be.
Whatever you feel about the situation.
He better be. Like, he better be. I know how I feel about the situation. I'm not as convinced as you are.
The Broncos are going to be a better offense than Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to say that. Like, it's ridiculous that we're even having this conversation.
Okay. Well, I bring up ridiculous topics, but I don't know that I think it's as ridiculous as you do. Now, we'll watch it. I'm really concerned about Denver's offense.
I mean, we saw them play recently.
They put 41 up on the Rams the other day.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about Arizona and Denver played 2 weeks ago, and Tune looked terrible. I'm sorry. Wilson looked far superior.
Right. $5. Juna Benjamin is with us on the phone, the assistant winemaker at Vara. Good morning, Juna. How you living?
Good. How are you doing?
Everything's good. And sorry we missed you in person, but it sounds like your place is pretty spectacular. Let people know about it, where you are, and what you got going over there.
Yeah, so I do a little bit of everything. As you said, I am the assistant winemaker there. I also do most of the spirits, as well as kind of just run production operations. So we do a little bit of everything. Like I said, we do Spanish varietal wines. We do some a little bit more traditional style wine, California wines. We also do several different spirits.
Where are you? Where are you located? How do people to get a look at it? Is there a website?
Yeah, so we are located, our tasting room's up on Alameda Boulevard, just a little bit down from the Balloon Fiesta Park. We're located at 315 Alameda Boulevard up there.
Right on. Is there a website people can take a look at?
Yeah, definitely. Our website's just varawines with an S.com, varawines.com.
That's Vara, V as in Victor, A-R-A, wines.com. What's your best wine? What's your favorite one? Like if you say, it's probably a mood thing, right? Is it summer, you're going water, Distillery Week. And our sweet deal, and it is live now at sportsanimalabq.com. Red Zone next as we tackle some of the biggest, most pressing issues in the National Football League. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
Celebrate Cherry Fridays with the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Moody's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs.
We don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Architect of Dallas Cowboys, and that came down this morning, so I know there'll be a lot of remembrances of Gil Brandt as we go through today and going into the football season. All right, as we go into the football season, it is time to go into...
Eagles running back will have the best season statistically.
Are we talking total yards or rushing yards? Because if it's just rushing yards, I do think Kenneth Gainwell could have the edge, because this is going to be a 3-man committee. We're going to see a lot of DeAndre Swift in the passing game. I think Penny, if he is rolling, he'll have an opportunity to lead in pure rushing yardage total. But I think it could be Gainwell that edges those 3 guys out in total terms of just rushing yards.
See, I think the only reason it's Gainwell is because both Penny and Swift are oft injured. Ideally, no. Right? I mean, ideally, the answer is I got a starter and I'm going to play him. And because they cut both those guys, I'm going to tell you, unless there's injury, no. Like, I don't think they're going to pull Mac Jones for one of these guys. What it tells me is Zappe wasn't good in preseason. Belichick isn't comfortable with either one of them. And I think he's going to ride this thing one way or the other. And unless there's an injury, I think the answer is no.
Yes.
Why?
Because injuries happen. And this is Bill Belichick trying to be smarter than everyone else. Because when you release these guys and bring them back in the practice squad, it gives you an extra roster spot to mess around with. They're going to have to elevate one of them each Sunday. And you can elevate each guy 3 times before you have to add him to the active roster.
Dare I say Sean Payton? He's won a Super Bowl. He was really good. He won a Super Bowl. And I say he's overrated, meaning I don't think he's not a good coach, because I do think he's a good coach. I'm not certain because of that one Super Bowl and that's it, that he's elite. And so while I do believe he's good, if you're going to ask he's so highly rated, I think he's overrated.
But looking at overrated, of course, the young guys are on the list. I don't have one that stands out to me. I think Sean Payton is really good. What about Mike McCarthy then? To me, that's like the same person.
He is, but is he as highly rated? Like is he as highly thought of as Sean Payton? I don't think he is. I think people are always just banging on
underrated category.
Yeah,
I think Kyle Shanahan's kind of the leader in the clubhouse right now.
Kyle Shanahan's a great answer.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right. The NFL kicks off next Thursday, but the NCAA has a loaded schedule tonight with 11 games and another 6 tomorrow. Of the 34 teams playing, only 1 is currently ranked in the top 25. Give me a few teams that are playing before this Saturday that you think will be in the top 25 at the end of the year.
Boise State.
So it's got to be teams that are playing tonight?
Tonight or tomorrow.
Oh. I don't know full schedule tonight. Tomorrow.
So I'm going to go North Carolina State or Minnesota. NC State defensively is really good. Linebacking core is terrific. We're done.
Yeah.
Sorry, caught me off guard with the last one. I should have looked at the schedule.
Totally cool. I will admit, like, I'm getting kind of psyched for NCAA tonight. So I'm trying to find, like, what storylines do I need, as I feel like an outsider sometimes, but, like, what should I be looking for?
I'm pumped. So college football tonight.
Miami of Ohio playing Miami for the Battle of Miami.
Is that your big game tonight?
Friday night.
That's tomorrow night's big game? All right. Tomorrow night's big game is Miami versus Miami? What do I get on Friday night? Stanford, Hawaii on CBS Sportsnet. Miami's probably the big one. Well, I'll watch Central Michigan versus Michigan State. You know why? I'm a big Jim McElwain guy.
Oh, nice.
Love me some Jim McElwain and Rob Akey, their defensive coordinator. Tonight, there's some stuff to watch tonight. The Utah-Florida game is like really good.
That's the one that stood out to me.
No, of course. Of Utah-Florida tonight is really, really good. And Utah playing without their quarterback, I think, is a problem. And with Cam Rising out, I think it's interesting to see what happens. With Florida now rebuilt, they had 29 guys opt out of their bowl game last year. Okay? Remember they played in the Las Vegas Bowl. They got beat 35-3. They kicked a field goal like with a minute and a half to go so they didn't get shut out, which is so chicken bleep. But it was like to protect their not shutout record, which went back to like the 90s or something. So that one's really good tonight. And the other one that's really good tonight, I think it's intriguing to see what Matt Rule's Nebraska team's going to look like. They're on the road at Minnesota. That's on Fox. I'm interested to see, although I won't watch it a lot because they're playing North Carolina A&T tonight, what Trent Dilfer's UAB looks like. In UAP, whatever, Jeff. But I'm interested, right? Because Brian Vincent's here. They opted to not go with Brian Vincent, who's the offensive coordinator here, and to go with Trent Dilfer and give him his first run at as a head coach. So that one I'm interested in. So that's what I'm looking at tonight. Do I see a big upset tonight? I don't. Although South Dakota could beat Missouri, that would be something that would be really special too. South Dakota, North Dakota State, those schools tend to play really well in these games early in the season. Is there anything you're staring at tonight?
Florida, Utah.
Yeah.
Game of the night.
No, without a doubt. Without a doubt, Florida, Utah is the game of the night. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in today. We'd love you to be part of the show. 505-246-0610. That's the Sports Animal phone line and the Sports Animal text line. Emails came in this morning, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. All right, when we come back, everything that's happened this morning, get you up to date on the headlines, what people are going to be talking about, and wrap you up, get you ready for your Friday. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Sports Animal. What do you need to know as you go through your Thursday? What is everybody going to be talking about? Well, this is going to hit today. Joe Montana was asked who is the best quarterback of all time. He didn't say Joe Montana. He didn't even say Tom Brady. He didn't say Aaron Rodgers. He said a guy I bring up in this conversation all the time. He said Dan Marino. Dan Marino, according to Joe Montana, is the best quarterback of all time. Quote, he had a quick release. I had to step into a lot of things to get enough force on the ball. He had the perfect torque of his upper body and strength to deliver the ball quickly, a fast release with accuracy. Put Marino in today's game where he gets free release, and his receivers, holy cow, weren't very big. Now these guys are 6'4", 6'5". I think Marino's probably one of the most unsung heroes of the game. People don't talk enough about him or realize the numbers that he put up during the times that he put them up, end quote. Dan Marino, according to the guy some of you think is the best quarterback of all time. So that's something people are going to be talking about today. Gil Brandt passed away, the longtime Cowboy executive, the architect of America's team. He was the president of player personnel for 28 years. The Cowboys, 91 years old. Gil Brandt passed away this morning. I know people will be talking about that. TJ Hawkinson got a new deal this morning. The Vikings tight end, one of the richest tight ends in the NFL. He just signed the deal today. Good for him. That just came down just a short while ago. And people are going to be talking about a volleyball game in Nebraska with 92,003 people in attendance. Nebraska beat Omaha in college volleyball yesterday at the football stadium, set a new record for attendance at a women's sporting events in the world at over 92,000. That is a big, impressive deal. And New Mexico United was out on the ball pitch last night. They fought back for a 3-3 draw with Las Vegas Lights. That's what people are going to be going through and talking about as we go through the day. Missed anything else? Oh, and college football being played tonight. I mean, that's a big deal.
Football is football.
Football is football. Sid's in on the text. No, this would be the email line. Reply to Mr. Chamberlain. Mr. Symbieta, I assume YouTube TV is not pro bono. Why would anyone pay when they can get games for free with rabbit ears? And with the writer's strike, I have a feeling there's going to be more free games than ever since these networks literally have nothing else to show right now. But because I do this for a living, and I get more games than just what they offer me over the air. That's why I pay. I understand why you don't. You do get some games. You don't get them all. That's why we pay.
Yeah, I like getting every game. I like having options. I like having 4 screens set up for me on YouTube, all in 4K, all in high-resolution audio.
Look at you, dude.
It's a beautiful thing.
I can set up 4 screens?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It is so awesome.
Kind of like that MLB Extra Innings on the MLB Network. Do you ever watch that?
I do. It's a little different because it's kind of like your classic split screen, I guess would be a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So, and you choose whatever you want on each screen.
On the audio?
Yeah, you highlight the screen you want to hear the audio, and you can switch around as much or as little as you want.
Yeah, I love that. Glenn said, Vegas line of interest to Lobo fans. Furman is an 18-point home favorite against Tennessee Tech tonight. You going to put that one on your 4 screens tonight?
I don't see that one having a place.
All right, if you missed Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt this morning, I think it's worth your time to go find the podcast of that. It's available wherever you get podcasts. Go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, or Bill, if you prefer. It was a terrific conversation this morning. He is the Lobos' RB1, running back 1. Guy from Alabama State, 5'11", 204, and fast. The guy that at practice you were just going, holy smoke, who is that dude right there? Who's number 5? Good conversation with him today. Why he came here from Alabama State, how he feels, and how the players feel about going to play Texas A&M, and why they call him Bill. Well, I mean, what's Bill short for? William? No, it's short for Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt.
Wild Bill running up and down the field.
Yeah. He was really good. What do you think of Montana declaring Marino the best quarterback of all time?
It is amazing because the lists are going to pop up.
That's right. Here they
get
come.
our rankings, Mount Rushmore. The content machine that is the best quarterback of all time discussion.
List radio, nothing better. We have not hit this, and since it is past August 28th, we can talk a little bit about baseball. The Angels put half of their freaking roster on waivers the other day. So the Angels went out and did not trade Shohei Ohtani. They may lose him for compensation. If they can clear these guys all the salary off their books, they would get a 2nd-round pick instead of a 4th-round pick compensatory if they lose Shohei to free agency. I have never seen, nor has anybody else seen, anything like the crap that's going on there. Like, is that the worst ownership group in pro sports right now? Is that the biggest gong show going on in professional sports right now? Because you got a bunch of them going on, man. You had the Urban Meyer cleanup.
Let's put it on the list.
No, well, fair enough. But I mean, give me something worse than what's happening right now with the Angels.
Arizona.
The Cardinals?
Football would be up there.
It's interesting.
You start looking into the Steve Keim stuff.
Yep.
And burner phones.
Yep.
Between the former coach back in the day. Like, there is a lot of mess in Arizona. And the story that is still, I don't know how it did not catch on more. But the story last year, the Arizona Cardinals firing their offensive line coach, former head coach at UTEP. Why am I forgetting his name?
And he was in our game. I see him. I really liked him.
I am totally blanking out. But there was a story of when they played in Mexico,
Yep.
and he was alleged to have done something wrong with a female. And then the coach that was fired was like, bro, this wasn't me. I'm a bald white guy, but it was the wrong bald white guy.
He flat out said it wasn't me.
And referring to it could have been the general manager that is still the general manager of the Cardinals that's already been suspended by the NFL in years past. Like, it is just a wild situation in Arizona.
Was it ever determined if, in fact, it was Sean Kugler or not?
Yeah.
Because he flat out said, and I know Sean a little bit, right? I mean, we hosted UTEP in a bowl game. He was here. He's beloved down there. Like
there's wild stuff going on with the Arizona Cardinals that it's just no one thinks they're good. So they don't talk about the disaster that is the general manager to the owner.
I really need to know, and I've always wanted resolution on that story. It was one of those where it's so out of character. But yeah, okay, that's a bad one. What else you got? Because there's some bad situations going on. I mean, what's going on in Indianapolis right now? Is it stellar with the Colts?
Oh yeah, Jim Irsay, bit all over the place.
But what did you think when you saw half their damn roster, the Angels? They're out of contention. They're not going to the playoffs. He puts them on waivers.
Well, because it was too little, too late. Like you should have been making these moves 2-3 years ago with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, not at the trade deadline this season. Going, oh man, this dude's a free agent after this year. Let's go try to get a bunch of talent around him.
Yeah, what am I going to do now? Like what now? What? It was just stunning to me, and I think everybody in baseball is just going, what the hell is going on? It's almost an embarrassment. Not even almost. I mean, it is. It's one of the worst moves, one of the worst situations. And I don't even get mad at him for keeping Ohtani, making a run. I know everybody's beating the hell out of him, and it's so easy to say I told you so. It's so easy after the fact. I got the best player in baseball in the last 100 years. Man, I'm not sure I'm ready to just say I'm getting rid of him. I'm doing everything I can to keep him. I don't have a problem. And I know a lot of people do and tell me I'm crazy because it didn't work out. I don't have a problem. I got this guy. I'm going to do everything I can to hold him. I'm not, dude, you could have reset your team for 5 years. You got all these prospects. Maybe. But I you don't have a chance to keep him. Yeah, I think I do. So I don't even have that problem. But putting your whole damn team on waivers and just saying I quit. Oh, but by the way, come out to the ballpark where it's free Angel blanket night. First 30,000 fans get a blanket or a new hat or a Slurpee. But come out to the ballpark and watch this crap.
I wouldn't have traded him either.
You wouldn't have, right?
I would not have traded
Where
him.
were you? Now that it's all said and done, would you have traded Ohtani at the deadline? It's easy to say yes now.
It's real easy after the injury. But no, I'm trying to keep him. I would have tried really hard to get some more talent around him before the trade deadline, but
They tried.
Not hard enough.
Well,
they could have done a trade deadline like this 2 years ago.
Okay, that'd have been another story.
Not when you're kind of behind and have a huge hole to dig out of this season.
And you got nowhere to go. Yeah. You got flat out nowhere to go. No, I don't have a problem with that end of it. But where we are now and how they're just peeing all over it and saying, yeah, come out to the ballpark. Oh, we're going to be good. How long's Trout hung up for? Because he's got to be saying, get me the hell out of here too, right?
At this point, yeah.
And look, maybe Shohei just loves living in Orange County and he's going to hang out there. I got to believe not. Thank you to Jerry Palm, CBS Sports. He was with us today. Bill was with us today. Corey Crosby Merritt. He is available for you on the website, sportsanimalabq.com, if you want to take a listen to that. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will be after that. 2 Men On is in here at 4, and then you get Isotopes in Sacramento. What do you guys think? Want to come back and do it again tomorrow morning?
Let's do it.
Tomorrow morning will be Friday. We'll have football to talk about as well. Great work, Adrian. TC, terrific show. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Ojera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.